Get set for another huge day, big crowd, and all is in readiness. And it's Warnock in the middle of the ground who faces off with Darren Jolly. We're underway. Looking forward to a big Saturday afternoon at the G. And Bauer tries to make his presence felt straight away. Ball was doing what Ball does best, laying a tackle. And we're underway with no real movement of the footy at this early stage.
Carlton started Sean Hampson out of the goal square. Brown is his matchup. Brad Fisher, as you said, is up forward. Henderson as well. So they need a big forward to fire today, Carlton.
We talked about shutting it down. It's not going far at this early stage. Lots of numbers around the contest. The umpire's going to open it up. Wellingham penalised. And the Blues come away through Murphy.
Holding. Carlton free down here.
Whoa, great start for the Blues.
So free kick against Nathan Brown down there.
All the way back.
That is the advantage of having a big unit in the goal square, and that is what Sean Hampson is. He's a big, powerful man, and drew some pressure from Brown, went the grab, and a good early start for Carlton, Bloody.
He's going to outrun him every time. I just don't know why you need to hang on anyhow.
So the first part is getting the footy, and the next part for the big ruckman is kicking the goal from 20 metres out. What a start for Carlton and Sean Hampson. It's right through. He's done it. And Carlton are on the board. Collingwood haven't had a stat.
You see almost every player. Chris Judd led some real spirit there, Bly, didn't they? I think we take a look at the free kick. Might have been a little grab of the jumper just before we panned down there. The umpire was pretty confident that was there, but I love the spirit there, Bly. I think there would have been 14 or 15 players get over to Hampson. Good start for Carlton.
Was a little touch though, Luke. It was only a little grab, wasn't it? He's done more to pick that up.
Well, good start to the Blues. Sean Hampson, who will no doubt spend some time in the ruck as the afternoon progresses. But for the moment, back in the centre with Jolly and Warnock to do battle again. Murphy on Swan. Warnock decisively to Judd, who's wrapped up immediately by Wellingham, and ball in a tackle and a secondary bounce.
That was a great tap to Judd, wasn't it? That was absolutely perfect. He got caught with it. But Warnock, that's a really good sign. Jolly might have his work cut out today.
So they go at it again. Neither ruckman touch. Well done, Swan. Emerged. Kick inside, attacking 50. Ball to the back. Davis! What a start in game number 200 for Leon Davis. 4 goals last week against the Tigers. And look at the brilliance here of Swan through the congestion. The quick kick forward, and it's so often very difficult for defenders when it comes in quickly like that, Malcolm.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more.
Got the same matchup, Aaron Joseph, as he had when they played Carlton in round 6. Didn't kick a goal on Joseph. Good start for him if he can get one early.
From 35 metres, Leon Davis leans back, kicks Collingwood's opening goal. Now, goal umpire is running almost to the centre. He hasn't got the all clear from the central umpire. Now he has, and he's got the trek back. Look at him go. Michael Johnson-esque.
Michael.
There it is.
It's quite funny, isn't it? The field umpires just forgot. Just forgot.
So the first 2 taps went in the direction of Judd. And here's the second one, but he wasn't able to get clear. The next one, the third one, was going that way again, but Dane Swan was onto it.
Not a bad tactic for mine. If you're a ruckman at Carlton, I would be asking Chris Judd where he wanted it and doing everything in my power to get it somewhere near him.
Just about shoulder to shoulder with Swan as we get ready for the restart. Warnock's left. We'll send them quite deep, putting some pressure on Reid. Big man Hampson was there again. Fisher had a bit of a touch. Murphy for Simpson. Tough for Henderson. Needed to be cleaner than that, but at least he fights on. Thomas and Swan try and get involved for the Pies. Nothing decisive yet. Murphy a fairly blind handball and whisked away with Davis and Johnson. And suddenly the Pies are on the wing. And as they float down in such an organised fashion, they're always dangerous from here as ball might look for Cloak.
Kick towards half forward, just dropping a bit short, so Jamison was able to get a hand in there and deflect it over the line. Boundary throw in left half forward for the Magpies.
Carlton started Jared Waite across half back. Last week against West Coast, he played about half and half, floated across half back and then went forward think today with Collingwood, I love him up forward. I'd love to see him there permanently, but they need to try and shore up their defence a little, so they might keep him in defence more permanently.
Free kick to Swan for a hold against Carazzo. So too far out to score, so he goes short and finds Jolly.
Bit of breeze sprung up, guys, in the last 5 minutes or so. Jolly is probably kicking directly into it too, so pretty tough kick from here.
Okay.
There's a free kick off the back there, but I actually watched Warnock at the corner of my eye. He just didn't believe Jolly would lead back. It really is a great lesson.
So Darren Jolly, an outstanding form for the Magpies from just inside 50 now. Contest in the pocket. Cloak going back. Has he been paid the mark? Yes, says the umpire. Big task for Bower this afternoon, giving away plenty of size and height. And Travis Cloak now faced with an interesting challenge to try and convert from right on the boundary line. You can see the point post. He comes round, snaps, and just missing to the near side.
So what Travis Cloak just has to play in this Collingwood side. I reckon he's had a good year without being an outstanding year, but his contested marking, he's third in the AFL for that particular stat. He adds something that no one else really for Collingwood is capable of.
Russell uses Walker to advance the cause, and that's a pretty well placed ball for Henderson. Reid, what a terrific second effort. He must be right up in the mix for the rising star this year, Ben Reid. I know he's a bit older, but he's had a great season. Good strong stuff from Gibbs though. The Blues through Walker, and now Russell, and now Judd. And wherever Judd is, there's usually a couple of Collingwood jumpers not too far away. Henderson back to Judd, uses Gibbs, and they've got to half forward. Bit of hesitation on Gibbs's face. That hasn't left yet. He's going to use Judd where he can. Jolly's deep, so he goes shallow. Good kick. And Grigg to take the mark.
That was a great build up there from Carlton. He looked up Gibbs and he had Jolly on his own in the goal square, and he's got enough poise, Gibbs, to hold onto the foot. If he had kicked it, Jolly took an uncontested mark, so he had to stop, as you called really well, Haddo. Got it off to Judd. Judd's got enough vision and awareness to hit the loose target, so good build up. They got through Collingwood's pressure pretty well.
Coach was pretty complimentary of Sean Grigg's game last week. Hasn't played a lot of footy this year, just his 4th game. He was a reasonably high pick originally, and he needs to convert here, which he duly does. And the Blues have made a bright start at the MCG.
There's a really nice kicking action. Really smooth run up. And as you mentioned, boys, all the do-si-doing out there they did to get clear. Gibbs was clever, wasn't he? Just didn't panic with the footy. It's a great lesson for anyone, isn't it? You get caught holding the ball and it stops the game. At least you can reset by not panicking. He really did set up that goal.
So Sean Grigg with Carlton's 2nd goal. They lead by 5 points, the Blues. Great work from Gibbs and Judd in that passage of play. So Jolly again to do battle with Warnock. Warnock's been able to outreach him so far. Does it again. Coming to meet it was Yaron. Picked up by Warnock. Well played by the big fella. He kicks towards half forward. Maxwell going back with the flight. Henderson the fist. Now at the fall, Pendlebury. He never panics either. He handballs to Ball. And good mark taken by McCaffer. Just backward of the wing. Off to Johnson. And Ben Johnson. Kick towards half forward. Cloak finds the front position. Just lost the handle there. Chance for Blair. Ball at close quarters. Beams. They share it around. Magpies. Pendlebury got it from side bottom. Now McCaffer. Good pressure from the Blues. They work Collingwood back to the southern wing as side bottom chips. No one can take the mark. McCaffer. Side bottom, and Collingwood being held up here. Short kick is marked by Blair. Wide to Johnson, back to Blair. Now here's an opportunity for the Magpies at half forward. Blair kicks inside the attacking 50. Cloak takes the mark.
Against Cloak, I think.
Free kick to Bower. The Blues out of trouble.
He got the hands in the back was the adjudication as Walker brings it away and finds Fisher.
Got a good look then for me. The difference between Collingwood in 09 and 010, they are just relentless in playing on. Even though they go the boundary, there's constant movement with Collingwood now. They always surge forward, always want to get the ball moving forward.
Here's a look at the cloak push. Was it in the back? Yes, it was. Good decision. It was. I mean, so much of the game is just being played in a congested area at the moment, and they still found a way through Collingwood. It was very, very impressive, as you mentioned, Das. Here's Thomas. Handball couldn't get through. Ball started well. Laid a few tackles and keeps them moving again. Cloak's going to keep Bauer very busy. Was that in the back? It was from Walker. Just unnecessary too, wasn't it? Because they had them on the back foot. And not a great kick from Cloak.
See the top of your screen there. It's Carazzo who's got the job there on Dane Swan, who always stands out, Dane Swan, with the tattoo work going on. Carazzo's trying to do what no one else has been able to do all year, and that is stop Dane Swan. He's so powerful. He runs so hard that no tagger has got hold of him yet.
So a chance now for Davis at ground level. Tackled by Russell. Ball not coming out, so a bounce 35 metres from Collingwood's goal.
Look, I'm going to be interested to see whether Carazzo stays with him. When he runs off the ground, he comes off with him. You know, he's interchanged a lot, rotated a lot. Swan, I'll be really fascinated if he does it all day.
Brown and Hampson, Walker an opportunity, but gee, look at the pack of players around the footy. Chance for Russell, jams it on the boot hurriedly towards half back. Foot race, side bottom, Yaron. Side bottom, collared by Yaron. Brown. It's Nathan Brown. Tuvi's got it now. He's wrapped up by Waite. Spills to O'Brien. Now off to Blair. 55 from goal. Chips it towards Cloak, who marks. Again, Collingwood worked it out pretty well, and Cloak will kick from 35 metres on a 45-degree angle.
Amazing inclusion. Jared Blair is into this side. He's taken it pick 27 in the rookie draft last year. He come from nowhere. This is his 5th game. You've got players like O'Brien, Lockyer fighting around, Medhurst that could come back in, and it's just a massive credit to their situation at Collingwood. Mick Mulder says, you know what, this is a player I want, and he isn't letting him down. Jared Blair has been in great touch.
Well, he's missed 2 weeks through suspension. Travis Cloak for the Magpies. And just missing to the near side. So his second genuine attempt. He's kicked 2 behinds.
Yeah, if there is a flaw in Travis Cloak's game, it is his goal kicking. I mean, he can miss those. See, they're sodas for good players, aren't they? You just got to become a really good player. You've got to kick them.
He just kicks the ball so easily, doesn't he, in terms of distance. It's such a shame. Russell clears, and he's going to get another crack here. Travis, if he keeps going, he'll get one eventually. And he almost could from here. I don't think he'll try. Just sets it up. Top of the square. Dawes the target. Davis lying in wait. Speaking of wait, he's in all sorts there. Lucky for the Lion. Collingwood starting to just ramp it up a bit. I know Carlton are in front, but they're feeling the squeeze, I think, here from the efficient style that Collingwood play, an effective style they play.
Always going to be the issue was, can Carlton's defence stand up to the onslaught that's coming their way from Collingwood today?
Walker gets it from Joseph, drives it to the wing. Oh, spectacular leap. Couldn't take the mark. His Betts, and he ties it up though and doesn't allow Collingwood to take it away. So Collingwood take the opportunity. Look at this leap.
Whoa.
Did all the hard work. Malcolm couldn't hold on.
No, it was a car in the offering there, wasn't it?
What a great season he's had, Eddie Betts. Hampson. Taken high was ball, no free kick, and again they fight hard for it. A bounce, just the attacking side of the wing for the Magpies.
Carazzo gets a touch on Dane Swan at every bounce, but Swan's so strong, Luke and Malcolm, he just pushes him away at every single bounce.
Just the 2 disposals so far for Dane Swan. He's looking to add to that right now, but Carazzo tries to get in his way. High tackle on Wellingham, perhaps.
Let him up here. Let him high. Take a kick.
It's pretty stiff, Carazzo. Who was he? That first high tackle on him, I thought you called it pretty well.
They're having a bit of a push and shove off the ball as Wellingham sends them in a low direction inside 50. That was easy pickings there for Jared Waite.
That's what he does so well, Jared Waite, is he reads the play and can take a mark and give them some rebound from defence. He's playing on McCaffer. What he also has to do is make sure that he actually defends well on McCaffer. McCaffer's had 4 possessions early, and he'll get away and score goals, McCaffer, if he doesn't pay some respect.
Poor kick from Scotland. Now Beams off to McCaffer. That man in the tackle is able to get the handball away. Judd's got to beat a couple and does it. That was brilliant. needing some support, finds Fisher. He runs into a brick wall. Now McCaffrey again. Beams, Dawes, quick kick inside, attacking 50. In front, Waite sets himself. Double fister this time. Should have marked it. Chance now for ball. Handball wasn't great. Beams, was he taken high? No. Chance for Tuvey. Ball hot footy at the moment. Ricochets to Tuvey.
Oh,
and now Sidebottom's wrapped up at centre half forward, and the umpire eventually calls for it, but tight and tough in there, Malcolm.
Just get the feeling that Carlton they're trying to mean business, and they're trying to let Collingwood know they mean business. They're niggling, they're nailing away, and it's good stuff, isn't it, early in the game?
I've been watching Carazzo Swan. I'm really fascinated with this going on. Everyone's letting him else run because he's too good. Carazzo's not going to. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens.
Well, let's see how they go here. Again, Swan's got 2 to beat, Carazzo and Waite, and the ball over the line and out of bounds.
I think I've underestimated just how good Collingwood's pressure game is, how well they apply tackling pressure around the contest. And early, Carlton are actually really matching that. It's a great battle. Every time you look at this situation now, massive contest to be won.
Throw in, it's there to be won here. Gibbs. Swan gets involved with the tackle. Davis tries to barge on it, and Didak does. Clean. Yeah, it's superb as ever. Didn't need much of an opportunity, and while others were fumbling a little in the tight spaces, Didak was as clean as he ever is, and Collingwood take the lead.
Truly a well-earned lead too. They've really worked hard. The ball's been now there in a lot, and it just took the class of that man.
Alan Didak with his first possession of the afternoon. Great awareness, great skill.
It's been an incredible season for Alan Didak, averaging 20+ disposals. That was his 30th goal for the year.
Beautiful tap, this time to Gibbs. Carazzo hacks it towards half forward. Maxwell playing in front. Couldn't quite take the mark, but got plenty of support through Nathan Brown. Off to Wellingham. Spreads it wide, and Swan surged out of the centre circle to accept it on the southern wing.
It's got to be better there, Lockie Henderson for Carlton. Nick Maxwell's his opponent. Can't allow him to just come through and take uncontested possessions at halfback.
Yeah, ball close to the line. Jamison runs it over, and the umpire says throw it in. So between wing and half forward for the Magpies.
Here's the contested possessions, and often it's been a good guide for Carlton as to whether they're having a good match or not. So far, Collingwood winning that mark, but they're only up by 3 on the board.
They are the best in the business, Collingwood, #1 across the year for contested possession.
Blair wrapped up by Russell, so another bounce. Attacking side of the wing for Collingwood. 2-3 plays, 2 straight goals. Jolly and Warnock. Warnock did well. Jams it on the boot towards half forward wide though, and Goldsack lets it run over. So to half forward for the Blues, and there's Mick Malthouse.
It's been all right, Warnock. Luke?
He's competed really well.
Yeah.
Haven't obviously been out there, missed 11 weeks in this big chunk of the year. Like what he does around the stoppages, and a couple of times by the other, he's followed up really well from his own work.
Yeah.
Scott Pendlebury before the ball got there.
Exasperated look from Bryce Gibbs, but no waiting for Collingwood. Pendlebury to Didak, the centre half forward to Luke Ball, who waiting, pushing back to the square. Cloak, he's got the edge. He had him exactly where he wanted, and he takes the mark in front of Bauer.
Well, I must say that kick from Ball was as good as it could be.
Yep.
Gave him every possible chance as you look at that. I thought that was a pretty tough call on Bryce Gibbs, by the way.
It's a decisive one because it's led to a Collingwood mark, and normally you would say a Collingwood goal. But Michael, you're a bit nervous here, as all Collingwood supporters would be.
Dane Swan off for the first time. Carazzo off beside him.
So he's had a good chunk of running there, hasn't he, Dane Swan? But let's watch Travis Cloak. Oh. That's 3. Collingwood lead by 4.
It's an extraordinary miss, isn't it? It's just, for a player at this level to be 15 metres out and all of us not sure whether or not he can kick it is just unbelievable.
Beautiful kick from Wade towards half-back. Front and centre, Chris Judd. He's away. Kick towards half-forward. Now, Brown's got the sit at the back here and destroys it well. Front and centre, Didak. Nathan Brown back to Didak, getting involved in the game now. Alan Didak feeds it back to Johnson. Been in great form as well, Ben Johnson, and he spreads it wide. The mark taken by Pendlebury on centre wing.
Carlton got their first couple of goals by doing exactly what they didn't do then. The long bomb to centre forward. Collingwood are going to sweep that away on every occasion. They need to break through the middle of the ground and go deeper. Good effort from Warnock.
Yeah, great mark over the top. Probably should have fisted away, but had the confidence to mark.
Betts.
And he can set up a Carlton move.
Sorry, Chriso. Betts, Yaron and Garlett have yet to touch the footy. Henderson takes the mark. Fisher, Brown, back for Fisher. And in the end, the boundary line was a pretty welcome relief for him. So we know they need to get those boys into the game, don't they? We've said that a million times. It hasn't been down the forward line too much, to be perfectly fair.
So much more dangerous when they had Gibbs, Judd, all running through and breaking lines through the centre forward area, not kicking long to centre forward.
Grigg gets it in there as Yaron with an opportunity, which is quickly closed down.
Ball's come out, guys. PG.
And we're going to get another ball up. Goldsack doing a good job to lock it down. And there's Leon Davis, who started the day so well. Collingwood lead by 4. Now the bottleneck is at centre half forward for the Blues. Warnock with the tap. Not a great bounce for Beams. Well sorted by Grigg. And now Murphy gets the chance after the Scotland handball. Murphy with a chipping ball into the pocket. Fisher has to get there and be hard at it. He was. Wellingham kept it alive. Now Betts loves this sort of territory. Deep, but Thomas over the top. The extra body hasn't quite killed it yet, but he will now. And instead of being in defensive mode, it's a little flick of the switch and away they go.
Johnson to Goldsack, and Goldsack lumbers away with great speed. And here's Thomas, who started this move. He's got it on centre wing. Didak. Short option is on to Dawes, and he obliges. And Didak off the ground, Swan on, and they haven't been able to react, Carlton, because Carazzo hasn't been able to come on. Dawes pumps it to the pocket. McCaffer outnumbered, and Russell just pokes it to the line, and a boundary throw in the left forward pocket. So Walker now the match-up on Swan, as we look at the clever skill from Dale Thomas on the full-back line.
What a season he's having, Dale Thomas. Certainly in career best form. No wonder Collingwood fans are so excited. Gibbs, Wellingham, they're lining up there. Brown. A little sneaky stuff from Pendlebury. Can't get it clear. Ball's in the thick of it as always.
Carazzo was actually yelling to Walker to tell him to stay on and stay on Swan. So Carazzo just looking for a bit more of a spell.
It's a good point you make, Howie. This is where Dane Swan gets an advantage on his opponents. He comes on and comes off. Carlton can't get the change. Now he's got Walker trying to defend him around this stoppage, and he gets it.
Yeah, he does, but he got, and then he got it again, and he almost made the most of it. Another behind, so 2-5 to 2 straight.
This is what I'm really fascinated with this now. This is part of the game, the rotations. We're talking about capping them and how can we control them. I mean, it's fascinating, that little ducks and drakes on the bench then. You'd take that away if you didn't have it.
Scotland shares it with weight, but that was superb stuff coming from Chris Dawes, smothering, running down the handball, forcing it over for a boundary throw in half forward for Collingwood.
Carazzo's coming on now, and Howie's right. He's down there screaming, don't let him get one while I'm off. Get me on. I'm going to be judged on how Dane Swan goes. Swan's already got one just in the 10 seconds that Carazzo couldn't have him.
So Jolly and Judd fight for it at half forward. Wellingham. Judd ends up with it. Handball a little fierce for Murphy. Couldn't control it. Murphy does well though, hands and knees. Walker, close quarters. Joseph didn't accept it. Little hot. Chance now for Carazzo to Judd to Gibbs. This is better. And now Yaron's away. A bounce and a second through the middle of the MCG. Open forward 50. They're running back. Yaron wants to go all the way. Kicks. Mark taken by Reid. Didn't get enough on it. Didn't flush it.
You had options just out to the side if you had the vision to go sideways. Kick wasn't great in the end, but how much more dangerous do they look by when they can run and bounce and take the game on rather than just trying to bomb long?
Ben Reid's got some issues here. Just held his nerve. Well done from Johnson, because it opens the door for Garlett, but they're being manhandled a bit, the Blues. Johnson has his crack at it, and they're certainly fair income in there, both sides.
It's been a really good first quarter, hasn't it?
It's willing.
It's really tight.
17 plays 12. It's a good tackle from Garlett. So the small Carlton folks just starting to get involved in some small way in the game. They haven't been able to really get many possessions or hit the scoreboard yet. Yaron just the one, Betts just the one, and Garlett has laid a few tackles, 3 in fact, this early stage. So the margin is 5. See Collingwood dominating the disposal total. You can see how the game's being played at the moment in pretty close quarters. And the crowd waiting, expectant. Brown for Dane Swan with the quick collect and kick onto the wing. You can hear the murmurs of appreciation around the ground. Cloak taking on about 3 of them. Simpson did well to help the Blues cause, although there's plenty of pies across half back to sort it out, and Dane Swan's involved as ever. Davis breaks to where the space is on the outer side. How will Reid choose to use it? By hand to O'Brien. Some instructions come with the handball. Take it to Goldsack. Jolly's deep. Will he go there? He knows that Didak is ready if it hits the turf. Jolly almost. Didak stayed at the back. Blues get some extra numbers there. Pies lay some pretty heavy tackles, and as a result, McCaffrey doing all the hard work there will have a ball up.
3 minutes to go in the first term. We mentioned before the game how important the first quarter was going to be. Collingwood have been able to blow sides away early. Carlton has started poorly. Really crucial 3 minutes. Carlton can have a lead.
It's a free kick to Swan from this bounce, and again the close attention from Carazzo. You can hear the umpire saying you can't block. And Swan will kick from 30 metres on a slight angle. Top of your screen, there is Carazzo holding on to Swan.
Yeah, because he just got beaten at the last 50-50 at half back.
So Dane Swan from 35 gets very close to the man on the mark, but pops it through. Collingwood have their third. Lead out to 11 points with just under 2.5 minutes left in the quarter.
And it's probably about where the game is, but we, as you see, that's Carazzo holding him back. He got caught at the last one. He said he's not going to do it again, so he held on. And sadly, he's paid the price.
Just gets so much momentum up at the stoppages, Swan. He starts back and just powers forward. Taggers find it very hard to deal with.
You know what, Dane Swan's a good player? Because he's on the move. So he wants to get going. He wants to create some sort of diversion. Doesn't matter what. And look at half the other blokes standing flat-footed. That's why he's a gun, because he's on the move.
Sounds simple, Malcolm.
There he is again. He's had 5 of their 10 clearances so far in the game, Swan.
Wellingham. Kick half run down. Russell with determination. Helped on further by Yaron, but does it help the cause? Hampson got involved as well. Good aggression from young Allard. 50-50 with Luke Ball. There's no disgrace in that.
And Anthony should just finish up and say, and it takes courage to go forward and be on the move at every stoppage and not get lazy in the mine.
Swan's taking Carazzo deep down forward now, boys.
Well, that's the other element. He can go anywhere. Gibbs to the spaces, and there's plenty of spaces today because where the footy is, you generally find 20 or 30 blokes around it. Henderson tries to work it to the line and nudges it over. So they'll do it all again. Judd 7 disposals so far. Murphy 6 for the Blues. Swan up to 8 and McCaffrey 6 along with a couple of tackles. Luke Ball also has had 6 disposals so far. Wellingham's finding that form he had earlier in the year. What about that for a handball from Pendlebury? Goes out eventually, but it was quite close to Didak. Eddie Betts having a laugh. Didak maintains the rage.
Knew exactly where that was going. Pendlebury had great vision and great awareness he's got on a football field, Scott Pendlebury.
Lee Brown contesting hard now. Wellingham scrambles it forward. Well done, Carazzo, although Swan just continues to keep his body over the ball. And they run it together to the line. So a boundary throw in on centre wing.
And the other thing he didn't do, Michael, was go to ground. And a lot of guys actually go to ground under that sort of pressure. I mean, just fantastic.
Off the ground.
So he just takes himself off there. There's no message. Able to have a spell when he wants to. He only had 2 possessions before he made his first change. Came back on. Since then, he's had 6 and kicked the goal on Carazzo.
Pendlebury again doing some hard work to Didak the ball. Well tackled, but he got the handball off to Blair just in time, but he's well wrapped up. Ball loose now. Good umpiring, letting it go. Good handball out of the congestion from Scotland to Murphy to Hampson, and free kick to Murphy, surely. He's taken high on centre wing, and he'll be able to kick the Blues into the corridor. Not the best of kicks. Russell gathers in a nest of Collingwood players. Walker kept his head. Now Joseph, can he use it effectively? Handball off to Bauer, around McCaffrey, but gee, they're going backwards at the moment. Now as far back as Jamison, who decides just to load up and bang it inside attacking 50. from Nathan Brown at the 4 Wellingham. Needs to be clean in his. Beams. Not a great handball from Beams, though. Allows Judd in. Feeds it back. Scotland now. Loose player in the pocket. Not going to get there. Mark taken by O'Brien.
Still worry about their forward movements, don't you, Carlton?
Yep.
O'Brien with the bomb. Dawes, the big body there. And he's got the mark. No 50.
Scotland down, grabbing his ankle. The ground, you can see he's gone straight for his left ankle, got up hobbling.
Just about quarter time. Good timing for Heath Scotland to do an injury. Very quick thought, Das.
I thought the start from Carlton was great. We've got a really good contest. They've come with really good intensity, but just the quality of Collingwood when they needed to step up and break through. They're in such good form, and probably the scoreline reflects the state of the first quarter.
Interesting Saturday afternoon, and it's always interesting on Monday nights. Compulsive viewing from 9:30 Eastern is 1 week at a time. And what a hornet's nest Das has stirred up this weekend. It'll be great to watch on Monday.
If Gary Ablett was to leave Geelong at the end of this year, it is by no means the end of the world.
I think Daniel's lost a fair bit of respect for me, which is disappointing in itself. 2 or 3 times, just sort of sitting at home and just clicked it on, and you get that sick feeling in the stomach. You just use it as a bit of motivation of, if we ever get there again.
He's probably the best player I've ever played with. The fastest man in the world without a knee lift, I think. All the boys get into it.
He is a phenomenal player.
Thanks, Harry. We're just about ready to go in the second quarter. It's a big one for Carlton, that's for sure.
Bounce, Jolly, Warnock does well and finds it at ground level. Not a great handball, though, to Betts. O'Brien shut him down. Swan got it to Wellingham, to Johnson, back to Swan, to Brown, back to Swan. He's got it on centre wing. Kick towards Thomas. Now, Grigg in close attention here. Thomas does well with the outside of the boot, but didn't get any elevation. So Bauer's able to cut it off. But again, Carlton under pressure. Beams, Swan. Now a chance for Davis. Can he spot up a target inside attacking 50? Simpson does well, had eyes only for the football, and has marked it full back for the Blues.
Really good effort from Cade Simpson. He was Carlton's best player last week. He actually had to chase Jolly down to full forward. Read it really well, got off Jolly and took a good defensive mark.
Fisher, Flyers and Maxwell made it more difficult for him than he would have liked.
Carlton have started Jared Waite now at centre half forward in this game. There he is. Nathan Brown, his opponent, played the whole first quarter in defence. Blighty, where is his better spot?
That's a good question. I think they need him up forward now. They're not going to kick enough goals. You just look around the tools at the moment. Don't look as though they're going to get 5 or 6 between them. You might with him.
From the throw in, we just heard that Collingwood have now won 12 straight quarters, and that's the first time they've ever done that. They never did that when you were playing, Michael.
Is that right? Surprising.
Yeah, maybe they just needed to strengthen their defence a bit more. Here's Swan, his 13th disposal. Beams tries to wrest it away from Simpson, making life difficult for him. Swan, what a perfect pass. So beautifully weighted. And Didak on the end of it. Sets it up. Leon's ready to ride, but he stays down. And Cloak will try and give it back to him. Lee Brown tries to sort things out, and it might work out for Wellingham, not quite. Jordan Russell, danger hasn't quite passed yet. Russell fairly hurried with the kick and goes to Dane Swan just for something different. Could have been a free to Garlett for heavy protection. It's got through to Gibbs. Jamison, some issues there. Umpires letting it go. Now he's gone. Wow.
You got an arm throw, you must make a legitimate attempt.
So you get the umpire say there, got your arms free, you need to make a legitimate attempt. So have a look at this. Not sure he ever got his arms free. And you have to show that you're trying to extricate the footy now. When both your arms are pinned, footy's pinned on top of you, I don't think there's prior opportunity. For me, that is too hot.
Well, if he said your arms were free, he's wrong, because the replay showed that they weren't. Maybe not enough intent. Dawes pops it through. Collingwood's 4. They lead by 17.
It's a great tackle this from Chris Dawes. Brilliant forward pressure. Love what he adds to Collingwood's side with his presence. Makes life easy for Clark. So he picks it up. Has got 0.4 of a second to dispose of it. Have his arms pinned. Jamison trying to get rid of it. That just is too hot. Not the way I think the rules should be applied. Dane Swan takes himself to the interchange bench for another spell. He's up to 15 possessions. He's got as hard a tag on him as they could possibly do with Carazzo. He's just an extraordinary player, buddy. They can't stop him.
No, but they made a mistake in the middle. Carazzo was one end and he's at the other end of the square. So he just ran wild for 5 minutes and got 5 touches. I mean, I think if you're going to have a hard tag, you make it hard.
So secondary bounce.
I think he does, though, so well. Carazzo had him just to a couple of possessions about halfway through the first quarter. Took himself off, got back on. Carazzo couldn't for a minute or two. And in that minute or two, he got 3 or 4 and was away. Carazzo hasn't been able to rein him in since.
So Jolly was able to get this one down. Chance for Simpson, dispossessed of it. Oh, Wellingham pushed him in the back, so a free kick to Carlton there. And Carlton fans appreciate some support from the umpire. And there's the free kick there, Wellingham with the push. So Simpson now not too much on. The sign's just to kick it long and wide. At the back, Nathan Brown with the fist. O'Brien front and centre. Pendlebury just kicks it high back towards the wing. Willingham's got to sit underneath it. Well done. Good pressure from Johnson. Bauer can't get through the cloak tackle, though. Johnson flicks it to Simpson. Warnock. Gibbs. Now Gibbs in space. He can set something up here, Bryce Gibbs. Not too much to go to. Kicks towards a vacant goal square. Betts and O'Brien. Oh, Betts didn't get a greatest of bounce, and Goldsack's able to come in to read. Jolly in the back pocket, and the short kick marked by Ball at half back.
Who moves it along to Pendlebury, who's been relatively quiet. 8 disposals.
Just interesting at Carlton going forward. Just can't find that leading target. Just can't get that easy goal, that easy kick.
Now Jared Waite's in the forward line at the moment. We've seen him at both ends already today. Young Blair continues to ride this wave. Kick the half forward from Ball. He's also been prominent with 10 disposals. They can't afford a big loss, Brett Ratton and Carlton, when you look at their position in the 8. As we said, their percentage has already slipped from 105 down to 104.8. So they have a big loss today. It won't help in their battle, perhaps with someone like the Swans, who they're close with in terms of percentage. Cleared out on North, as you could see. Great hands to Blair, kept it in. Well done by Beams. Top of the square, pressure on Dawes, free kick, mark, whatever you like. Jamison, he actually has struggled a bit in the last month or so, Jamison. And he's got his hands full again today. Well, there wasn't a huge amount in that.
Great option to be able to go to the goal square and have for someone who has got the frame and the size of this man. Have a look how big he is across the shoulders, and he will always compete and contest. 21 goals this year. Been really good for Collingwood.
And he's coming in for his second here. Just as elementary as the last one. So the Pies out to 23 points now.
Once again, I didn't think there was a whole lot in that, to be perfectly honest. I thought it was pretty good honest, and he just almost broke his fall, put his arms around him. Didn't really impede him because he still went to the footy. But from an umpire's ankles, he's seen that left hand, which really didn't do anything. It was just trying to break the fall. I thought he was a bit stiff again.
Probably, yeah, thought he was around. He's wrapped around him a bit, didn't he?
Now, just... here we go.
So Michael Jamison there conceding a couple of goals. 2 free kicks paid against him. And Carlton fans not too happy. So back in the centre. Warnock jumped too early that time. Pendlebury over it. Pressure coming from Scotland. He's found it now, but going nowhere. So a secondary bounce. There's Dane Swan up to 16 disposals. Carazzo certainly taking him at this bounce. Nice tap from Jolly to the path of Wellingham. Lee Brown couldn't quite get boot to ball. Pendlebury can, wobbles a torpedo towards half forward. Davis stretched up and marks 40 metres from goal, directly in front. Thought it might have just been going over his head for a moment, but he really, look at that leap from a stand start.
Yeah, that is a great stretch.
And he was able to rein it in, and will kick from 45 directly in front. This to extend the margin to 29 points. He's kicked 1 in game number 200. Leans back and kicks it. Davis with a couple. And the margin 29 points, 6-5, 11 scoring shots to just 2.
Yeah, well, if you're going to keep losing those contested footies and quickly kick it forward, and you've got a reasonably talented forward line, you're going to get into some trouble, and that's what's happening at the moment. Chris Judd's off at the moment. The much vaunted Carlton midfield is not firing again and early in the game. I mean, it's fascinating, isn't it? You see all those good players, the #1 draft picks, you've got experience in there, and it's just not happening.
It's a massive game for the Carlton Football Club. Got probably 80,000 people here. They've had a year where they've had some good moments, but this is the game. This is the one where if they get belted today, it really is a disaster for them heading into this final few rounds of the season. They need right now to stand up and not get blown out of the water. Got
a bit on here, but unfortunately Grigg's kick wasted quite a lot of time. So by the time that Waite was able to get there, Collingwood had just swelled their numbers back. Blair should have got a free kick. Johnson with confronting him in the head, but it'll matter little as the Pies pull it away. Wellingham to half forward. Cloak with Blues circling. Russell for Joseph. Got his worries at the moment. He would have been more concerned as the ball was in flight there. Looked as if Didak was going to be able to pinch it. Grigg again flirting with danger to get it to Allard. He had a few wobbly moments with his kicking last week against West Coast. Let's see how he fares here. Pretty good looking kick for Fisher, but as you can see, it was to a contest, one-on-one on the wing.
Done that a lot, haven't they? Kicked to those one-on-ones. They just haven't quite got the breakaway. And I think it's a bit about the forward line or the player up the ground leading twice, 3 times, 4 times. And that's a bit about work rate.
Murphy, Judd, Walker, Scotland, Betts, Yaron, Garlett, all possessionless in this quarter.
So the ball to the back to Simpson. Quick hands, Grigg, kick smothered. Ball off a step, kicks it back towards half forward. Didak and Allard. Didak did all the hard work, couldn't hold on. Allard does well, tracks it to the line, so we'll get a boundary throw in at left half forward for the Magpies.
Allard late inclusion into the side armfield. A late withdrawal.
Look at those,
the job on Didak.
Look at that stat, Das. They've kicked 5 goals, 3 from stoppages, from the clearance situation to just 1 goal, Carlton.
So well done, Murphy. Over the top. Now this is an opportunity through the middle of the ground, although great chase from Ben Johnson affected the kick, and Goldsack couldn't quite control it, but Tuvey supports him. Now what's the umpire going to do here? I reckon he might be in a bit of trouble. Tuvey, no, gives him the benefit of the doubt.
Just further to that stat about the clearance dominance or the amount of scores they've been kicking. Overall, the clearances are 15-12 in favour of Collingwood. Carlton have actually won the ball out of the middle more times than Collingwood, so it's just their effectiveness around the stoppages that's telling.
Well done, Pendlebury to Johnson. Kicks it wide towards the wing, side bottom. Very skillful player, and on display there, Nathan Brown. Pendlebury running in numbers. Collingwood kick towards half forward. McCaffer through his fingers, and the ball to the back. Now Carlton have got the numbers here if they can gather it. Carazzo, Johnson, and now Walker, and good run from Jared Waite from half back. He runs to the wing and then kicks it straight onto the chest of Reid. So Carlton, they've got to lift their rating just to 2 scoring shots. Got to get into the game.
Just 10 inside 50s for the Blues so far. Jared Waite trying to make a difference. Let's see if he can do something better with this kick.
It's breaking down horribly across half forward. Henderson's the target up there, but he just doesn't look likely at all. The only time they have is where they've really taken a risk, and it's hard to get through this pressure here of Collingwood, come through the corridor, but at the moment they're breaking down horribly.
Finding it hard just to get out of defensive 50 at the moment. Cloak might enjoy this more. His kick was much better, and hit the post. And that makes, I think, 4 for the day for him. 4 behinds.
There's a great tackle from Dawes. Bauer did well just to get it out.
But they're a team under the pump right now, aren't
they? What? So the kick into the pocket to Joseph. Haven't kicked a goal since the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. That was their 2nd goal, and that's where they've remained. So the kick from Joseph towards half-back, straight to Jolly. I mean, you've got to do better than that. No one within 10 metres of the ruckman, and he stood there and marks uncontested.
Yeah, well, that's a bit about your plan, though, Michael.
kicked it back towards the goal square. Davis up high. Numbers here with the Blues. Or Russell couldn't take it. Beams can, kicks another one. 6 on the trot for them Pies. Margin out to 36 points now. And as I said, Collingwood with the last 6 goals in the game.
This has got blowout written all over it. They just don't look capable at all of competing here. Carlton, they had 10-minute bursts at the start of this game where they really cracked in, were winning some 50-50s. Since then, they have looked like a second-rate side.
So 36 points is the margin.
Strain showing there on Paul Bauer. Captain Chris Judd.
He's had no possessions in this quarter, Chris Judd. Just back on the ground. Let's see if they can make a difference. Judd, well, I'm not sure if you call that a possession, but he moved it forward. Not for long, though. Pendlebury, some heavy stuff going on off the ball. Gibbs gets into the thick of it, but Wellingham tries to forge a path, which eventually does out the back door. They crank it up a bit here, the Blues. They need to. Over the top, Betts trying to get involved. Gibbs couldn't shake off the weight of O'Brien. Hassled forward, back to the middle of the ground. Beams. Suddenly they're in the clear. One more and they'll be away. Blair did it on his own. He spots Thomas, who's going to come up over the top of Allard, who stood his ground nicely. As soon as they get near it, as Chris Johnson found out there, or is it?
That was a great second effort from Dale Thomas. He flew for the mark, did the discipline thing and punched, and then applied a wonderful tackle.
They are an A-grade side, Collingwood at the moment. Carlton last week, they were down by 26 points against West Coast at Subiaco last week. The players that stood up, as always, Judd's the man. It was also Mark Murphy, Kade Simpson.
Yep.
But they need a few others. They can't rely on those 3 or 4 every week to get them out of jail.
Inventiveness from Pendlebury allows Wellingham to kick it to full forward. Weight's needed at both ends at the moment. He doesn't really try and get rid of it. Just rode out the tackle. Walker. And the Pies are circling again.
Well, I'm just trying to think where Carlton have actually broke away and bounced the footy. Taken someone on, protect the carrier.
Just about one, that
Chris
Yarran
run through the corridor is the only time that I can recall.
So throw in the pocket. Wellingham, important touch. Another goal coming up. Who kicked it?
Might be Brown.
Don't know, but it's a goal.
I think it's Lee Brown, isn't it?
Maybe Wellingham.
And all come about again just because of the forward pressure.
Yeah.
There's the handball chopped down.
And there's Lee Brown. Just off his boot. Oh, no. Willingham got the last touch. So Willingham, I'd reckon.
Did either of them actually touch it?
Didn't look like it.
Good question.
This is the most unconvincing goal in history.
I reckon Brown's touched it just
and then
Willingham's got it.
Oh,
just. Oh, well, it didn't matter. If he didn't touch it, it's Brown's goal. Yeah. If he did, it's Willingham's goal.
I just reckon that he just got a touch on it, Wellingham. So another goal to the Magpies. Warnock decisively. Carlton can't get it clear and take advantage of his good work.
He was quick to claim it, Wellingham. Put his hand up after.
Oh,
yeah, definitely
tackle, actually.
There he goes, my goal. Yeah. Little nick from Wellingham.
Yeah. That's called. Is that called an assist from Brown?
Lee Brown wins this one. Gibbs, well taken there by Garlett. Quick kick inside the attacking 50, but it's all Collingwood. O'Brien hasn't had much to do this afternoon. Thomas over the top. Swan. Look at the run, running in waves. Johnson did it well, though the handball wasn't great. He coughed it up back to Simpson, but Carazzo, now Judd, now Joseph. Jolly came straight off the bench to confront Joseph. Now Betts has been quiet. Kick inside the corridor is a beauty. Oh, gee. Dropped by Griggy. Threw that out to Gibbs. Now a chance for Warnock. Back to Joseph. They've got an opportunity here. A kick across the ground towards Fisher. Nathan Brown does well, applying the pressure. Sidebottom arrives to help and gets a free kick.
Aaron Joseph had the footy there, Chris, on the corridor. And instead of bursting free and taking the space in front and running and putting some pressure on the defence, he panicked and just kicked it to a one-on-one that was never ever going to be won.
I agree.
Jolly thumps it forward. Williams able to take a chest mark, a flying chest mark. Leon Davis is getting excited just off half forward. He's on the brink here, Leon. Dawes tells him, go long. Then he decides to make a lead. There's no one in the square, Leon.
For all those guys that have played footy, this is when you want to count. When you're the opposition and you're a Carlton player, I'd call for a count. This is looks as though they've got 25 blokes on the ground.
Maybe they have, Malcolm.
Got to pay some massive respect here to Collingwood. I know they're on top of the ladder. They've had an incredible year, but they have got such great pressure. Every player is so committed. There's pressure to get a spot in this side, so you know that if you don't perform, the coach Mick Malthouse, he'll get you out and someone will come in and take your spot, and they're playing with that sort of hunger.
Luke Ball just about got the footy where he wants it. Now can he send it on the right path? Going to go mighty close, but I don't think it was ever going to be a goal. It's their 7th behind of the day, 8-7 to 2 straight. Luke Ball's been excellent, 13 disposals, and 5 of them have been contested. A couple of clearances and 4 tackles.
So Russell at fullback, that's what's ahead of him. Not much movement. In fact, none.
Well,
so decides to take the safe option, kick it towards his ruckman. Now Goldsack should spoil. Oh, he takes a hanger instead, if you don't mind. Fires the handball out to Thomas. Short kick, marked by Pendlebury. The worst thing you can do, and that's the problem kicking it long. If it's turned over, you've got 3 or 4 players loose inside the attacking 50. As we look at the specky taken by Tyson Goldsack, and Scott Pendlebury will kick from just inside 50.
Yeah, but you've got to have confidence to do that and the ability to do it and a coach to let you do it.
So Scott Pendlebury, who's got a lot of the football as well in this game. 14 disposals he's had, 3 marks, 7 contested disposals. Normally a lovely left foot kick. Just jags this a little to the right and misses. So a couple of consecutive behinds to Collingwood.
You have to ask, why are Collingwood a better side this year than they have been the previous couple of years? We know their system. We know Mick Malthouse sides have been prepared to just chip it along the boundary line and work it somewhat conservatively around the outside of the ground. But in 2010, they are just so relentless with how quick they play on, how much pressure they apply on the opposition. They move it fast and they just beat you down with their intensity.
Classic example there, Luke. Warnock had it and just jammed it on the boot because of perceived pressure.
No doubt. Through the middle, Blair uses Johnson's left foot. Not a badly placed ball. McCaffrey almost. Grigg. All the Blues under the pump. The handballs are putting their next teammate into pressure. Bauer got to get rid of it. Poor Wellingham might kick a goal anyway. He doesn't get the bounce. It's out of bounds.
Yeah, sometimes it's perceived pressure and sometimes it's genuine pressure like that. Bauer really lucky there. Look at Dale Thomas's effort from behind. Great effort. Oh, Bauer's lucky.
Oh, that's got to be holding the ball.
Really, really lucky. Great pressure again from Dale Thomas and the Magpies.
That's what you wanted me to say, wasn't it, Chris? Throw it in the forward pocket. Jolly misses it. Warnock had a bit of a crack as well. Murphy. Warnock looking for a high contact free. Umpire not going to have a bar of that.
One of the reasons why Collingwood is so good, of course, is, I mean, Didac, Thomas, Swan, those sort of players are all in their prime at 25, aren't they? 26 years of age. They're just perfect. Played a lot of footy, very experienced now.
Long time between drinks for the Blues at the moment. Jolly, he and Ball really adding to that list, and the age spread that Mick Malthouse was talking about just this week about how they've been to rebuild the list the way they want it to. Reid and O'Brien bounces always up to his feet, ready for action. Tuvey gave to a man in trouble. Not a problem, says Harry O'Brien. Shrug of the shoulders. He's on the move. Pies fans on their feet. They want more. Goal square. Pendlebury. They'll get more. Gee, the grand final was played in August. Collingwood would be red-hot favourites, Chriso.
They certainly would. I'll answer it for you, Chriso, because at the moment they knocked off St Kilda. In fact, they belted St Kilda 2 weeks ago. They're a better side than Carlton. I think we all expected them to win, but they are just irrepressible at the moment. They can do nothing wrong. Such great form they've got at the moment.
Brett Ratton with lots of concerns, and this is the work from Harry O'Brien. Happy to take on the tackler a couple of times and put enormous pressure on the Carlton defence. Great penetration with the kick, and Pendlebury able to finish the good work. Back in the centre, Blair does well. Didac, quick hands. Wellingham jams it on the boot. Pendlebury can't control this one. Cloak and Bauer. Cloak just shrugs Bauer aside, pulls it back across his body. Gold just across the face, in fact trickling over for a boundary throw in. 50 points 7-minute mark of the first quarter was Carlton's second goal. They haven't even scored, never alone kicked a goal. So Warnock out positioned by Jolly, but straight to Joseph, to Grigg again, just not looking, trying to get the quick kick away. Great pickup from Lee Brown. Thomas, Ball and Didak combined, loops the handball inside to O'Brien, takes on Murphy, drives it to the hot spot. Pendlebury again, couldn't take this one, gets a second opportunity. Well done, Gibbs. He emerges from the congestion and drives it wide to a 2-on-1 against, and Maxwell takes a pretty comfortable mark.
Hard not to feel sorry for Carlton players at the moment. They are just devoid of options, devoid of answers. And Cloak is the next one to have the shot. A couple of players leading. Leon Davis just looked for a pass over the top then. Cloak's marked at 20 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, uncontested inside 50 to not have a defender there putting pressure on. I mean, it's unacceptable. Brett Ratton would be just so filthy on a game that means so much to his side. To have had this effort in the first half, huge questions.
4 behinds. Hands over the eyes for some Collingwood fans. Oh.
That's deplorable.
Kicked him to the exact same spot every time. Yeah. Just need to move the goals and he's fine.
You know, look, you know what you need to do now? They've got extra players back. They're kicking it out. They're kicking it straight back to Collingwood. Why don't the Carlton's Brains Trust just play proper footy?
Yep.
Set up your structure in the forward line. Set up your structure in the back. You're going to get beat by 20 goals anyhow.
Hallelujah, Malcolm.
Just go and play footy. Normal.
Chance for Beams. Well done, Scotland. Murphy, Walker, and wide down to Simpson. Cuts inboard. Oh, not a great handball. Put Scotland under the pump. Great tackle, Maxwell, but he got it out to Yaron, to Murphy. Now Walker, and now some run from Carlton, although he hasn't got many options there, and coughs it up the ball to Pendlebury. Tuvey, back to Pendlebury. Good run from Maxwell, the captain. Open forward line for the Magpies. Davis, can he out jump Gibbs? He does, but can't take the mark. At the fall, Jamison was able to handball wide. And Carazzo's got it now for the Blues. In space, which we haven't said too many times this afternoon. From half back, he drives, good kick. Mark taken by Grigg. Now Chris Johnson, well done, around Maxwell. Here's an opportunity. Deep inside, attacking 50. Yeah, Garlett, I should say. And also Betts combined. Garlett, quick snap at goal. Around the body, and it's offline.
Such a great point you make, Whitey. On that occasion, and you can hear the Bronxies going around the MCG here from Carlton fans.
Look, you know,
they're not happy.
Look, everyone gets obsessed with this. We've got to stop it. This has been going on for a quarter and a half now. I mean, sometimes I just don't get it.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more.
Put your 6 forwards back, put your 6 defenders, put your midfielders there, and try and win the game. Try and kick a goal.
Well, they've played, as the weight comes out hard, they've played into Collingwood's hands, really. I mean, Collingwood are the masters at being able to get the ball in the congested situation, run it into the space, and Carlton have not been able to match them. They get a shot for goal here to Jared Waite. So much is on the line, not just in terms of percentage, that's important, but just their respect here for Carlton. What can they do in the second half? A goal here would be very, very handy just to help them along the way. Waite, not even going to score with that one.
At least on these last 2 inside 50s, and it might be coincidence, but they've actually had a semblance of a forward structure.
Yeah. But if you kick it back to 5 Collingwood players, because you've got one of the problems in playing a flood back, and that's fine for a certain amount of the game, is that there's too many players here you can't see options, because half of those players are your players, and it's hard to give it to them. Yeah.
So Maxwell from the back pocket drives it long. Up Hampson, through his hands to the back. Thomas, who's got electrifying speed, takes on Russell with a couple of bounces. Oh, not a great kick. Straight to Walker. And now the rebound for the Blues. Walker to Johnson. Russell loops it back inside to Grigg, looking for support. Finds it from Waite, who's under pressure. Good tackle, Jolly. Oh, I don't know that he got a kick away. Play on the call. Blair around Walker to Ball, who pops it up towards half forward. Davis coming to meet it. Davis and Joseph. Joseph just attacked Davis, got him away from the ball to allow Gibbs to come in, and Gibbs' short kick, he coughs it up. Taken by Swan.
Yeah, got a late hit from Leon Davis. Just an unnecessary one after disposal.
So Simpson now between half-back and wing. No one ahead of the play, really, in terms of a tall target. Decides to go wide. Maxwell up and takes, couldn't quite grab it on the second attempt. Well done, Betts to Garlett. Here's an opportunity. Open forward line. Kick towards Hampson, but well read by Nathan Brown.
Have a look behind there. There's no one there. There's no structure anywhere.
And he squirts it wide to Thomas, who chips it over the top to Beams. And Beams has got it just backward of the wing.
And Collingwood at the other end, Blighty, have got a structure. Travis Cloke's playing genuine centre forward when he's on. They've got Chris Dawes, who's playing genuine full forward. Lee Brown moves into that role now, but you guys both spoke to Nathan Buckley pre-game, and he said our forward line changes, but the roles don't change.
That's right.
We've got them all playing a set standard and a set spot. There's Leon Davis's free kick. Carlton haven't had any semblance of that at all.
Last minute, Brett Ratton. Who would want to be a coach in this situation? Has he got any answers for them at the long break? Trying to get something going from the wing. They might with the advantage of a free here. Allard held without it.
18 shots to 3. That's an embarrassment.
Collingwood got an extra back at the moment. So it's roll the dice now. Fisher tries to work back into the play. Brown didn't mark it, slapped it away. Didak hasn't been the most damaging of Pies, but boy, they've been a fantastic team. Is that holding the ball in the back over the top? Too high. It was the adjudication. Ben Johnson's footy, half back for the Pies. They've kicked 9-9 to 2-1. The inside 50s 29 to 16. We've got 20 seconds to go.
Johnson from half back. Side bottom accepts the mark. Still enough time for them if they run it quickly. Wellingham, long inside attacking 50. Lee Brown in front, couldn't take it. Needed a couple to beat him. No. Oh, gee, good tackle on Walker. That was by Swan. Lee Brown. And Siren just beats them for goal number 10. But a very impressive quarter. They kick 6 goals to nil and lead commandingly at half-time by 50 points.
50 points.
50 points.
Yeah. 2 goals. 2 goals, 1. Can't believe it. A point for the quarter. Have a look at the conditions out there. Absolutely sensational. How good have Collingwood been? What else can you say? Carlton absolutely hapless.
Yep.
And the other mob pretty good.
Well, we'll look and see what Carlton can do in the second half, but all attention is on Collingwood and Geelong. They're at the top 2 on the ladder, and they meet next week. It is going to be a sensational match, and we are certainly looking forward to it. Let's hope we're allowed to bring it to you live next Saturday.
Round 9 was big. And strikes the first blow. He's got it. He's kicked 2 and not in again. Williams kicks 4.
For the season, number of inside 50s, contested possessions and disposals. So it wasn't great. Pretty bleak outlook for the Blues. Can they do something about it? Third quarter gets underway. It will tell somewhat of the story. They were able to turn it around last week in Perth. Different opposition tonight, or today I should say. Allard tries to break loose, can't. And we're going to see a bounce. The other thing about Carlton is they've really been all or nothing this year. Their average winning margin is 42. Their average losing margin is 36. And they've only had 1 match which has been under 19 points in terms of, and that was the 9-point result, the loss against Freo. Here's Waite getting it moving, but not for long. Thomas and Didak, great combination, probing ball, Cloak, terrific body. We're going to try and play on, and the umpire said you did.
You played on, let it go. Are you for real? Stay out.
Travis said it was his natural arc.
All the way out.
There's actually a really good kick from Didak. Cloak still arguing the point. I reckon he played on.
Yeah, I think he did.
Shocking kick coming in. Cloak to Beams, and Beams converts. Well, that was a shocking kick coming in. And making up for the error just a few moments ago from Travis Cloak. And Collingwood with an early goal in this third quarter to extend their lead to 56 points. And there's the kick for Jarrah Wade. It just looked like he stubbed his toe. Cloak with the gather, Beams with the goal.
It's the last 10 goals in a row in this game to Collingwood. And we've just got to say how well and how impressive Collingwood are, but equally for Carlton, it is just such a disappointing afternoon. They have been non-competitive. They've been outplayed. They haven't been able to set up any structure that's given them an opportunity to really look forward and score with any sort of consistency. Really disappointing afternoon for Carlton.
Blues' biggest loss of the year was 68 points against the Bulldogs, and they went down by 53 against the Pies in round 6. Already it's 57 here. This is side bottom. Takes Didak wide. Didn't show a lot of concern about the pressure on him from Allard, and hits up Swan. Dawes holds his ground deep at full forward. Bit of movement ahead for Swan, but not a lot doing. Cloak's the intended target here. He's had no problem winning the footy. It's been what happens next that's been the problem for him. This time gets it to Allard, who's just about pinged. Again, plenty of congestion out on the wing. Bauer, inventive handball to Murphy. I don't know about that one. Straight to Didak. They are just devoid of confidence, the Blues, as McCaffrey takes the mark.
It's also the big factor is the pressure Collingwood apply. Malcolm Blight made the point before. It's about the pressure they put on, but then Carlton are panicking because they expect to be swamped every time they get the footy, and they are just turning it over every time they have it at the moment, Carlton.
So Beams at half forward, kicks back and across to side bottom.
Michael, I was going to say about Beams, I mean, you sort of watch Collingwood fairly closely. He's actually one that gets under the guard of everyone. I mean, he's the young baby of the group, so, but he always kicks a goal couple a week. I mean, he's been a really good pickup.
Very talented. Oh, spectacular grab from Jolly as Cloak drove it in towards full forward.
Speaking about good pickups, Darren Jolly has delivered everything that Collingwood had hoped he would. And that is why
that's a big grab.
They have always rated him so highly, Chriso, because he can go forward and do that. And you see Warnock trailing him. But if Robbie Warnock wants to be a good player in this game, he's got to learn to be able to do that. And Darren Jolly, he's just given him the presence, he's given him the ability around the stoppage, and the extra is that. Great stuff.
Yeah, went forward, kicked a couple of goals last week, and so far for the season has also been a strong contributor with 16 goals. And with an opportunity to kick goal number 1 today to extend this lead out to 63 points. 40 metres from goal and just leaks it to the right.
There's some unfair expectation early days on what Darren Jolly was going to be able to produce. He's not someone who's going to get 25 possessions and just tear a game apart, but when they've needed a good contest, when they've needed to make sure they win an important clearance, he will do that and stand up at the right time, and he's done exactly that.
And going into this weekend, it booted the most goals of any ruckman in the AFL, equal with Paddy Ryder. There's Warnock. He's up to 9 disposals now, so some encouragement.
Yeah, just his 28th game of his career, Robbie Warnock, so lots and lots of improvement left.
To half forward, Brown and Fisher contest again. Murphy being one of the Blues' best. Carazzo, it's slightly better, but that's about where it ends. And the Carlton Smalls have had no room whatsoever to manoeuvre today, and Kade Simpson gives away a free. Luke Ball's the other recruit, Das, and he's not disappointed either.
No, I think you recruit players on the basis they're going to provide you a specific thing that you're lacking in the side. And Luke Ball has allowed Swan to get freer, allowed Pendlebury to get on the end of things. And we see again, he's gone in and he's delivered so much.
All right, that's allowed to pass as the Pies go forward again. Side bottoms kick in the danger zone. One down. Dawes kept it alive. Thomas, lovely sidestep. Went on his own. Maybe could have popped the pass over, but then again, that would have required Travis Cloak to have a shot. So he decided to go himself. 10-12, 72 to 2-1-13.
Dale Thomas has improved, Malcolm, almost as much as anyone in the competition this year, taking his game to a whole new level.
Just appears to be playing on a wing to me, Luke, rather than that defensive forward. I know he played that role for some time, and he's just got his motor up. He's, you know, he's 23 now, I suppose, and got those games under his belt, but he's had a wonderful season.
Gibbs to himself and wide towards Warnock. Again at the fall, Collingwood, Pendlebury. Hands and knees. Chris Johnson applying some pressure, and he holds it in. Well played. A bounce 55 metres from Collingwood's goal. 1-3 Collingwood have added in this third term. Carlton haven't been able to score. Only scored one behind for the second quarter as Joseph, Murphy and now Scotland get them out of trouble. Spirals at Scotland towards centre half forward and
paid a push to Henderson here against Reid now. I reckon he's fairly stiff. Just using the hands to get rid of in the side. So have a look at this. So that's just a shove in the side to clear space for yourself. I reckon that should be play on. Lockie Henderson This is just possession number 4. Hasn't been involved in the game at all.
Sets it up wide to the pocket, and Maxwell couldn't quite hold on, but was able to recover with plenty of time. Now Goldsack got Didak loose in the back pocket, and now Brent Johnson breaks for Didak at half back, and he delivers onto his chest.
It's a lovely kick, isn't it? I mean, they're really backing their skills at the moment. They tend to still go a bit wide, but it's great kicking.
Now to Davis, and couldn't quite hold on. Ball close to the line. Boundary throw-in on centre wing. 59 points Collingwood lead. They led by 11 at quarter time and by 50 at half. Warnock, good tap to Simpson, although couldn't quite get an effective kick away. Punched on by Garlett. Well done, Tuvey. Knocks it, although only as far as Warnock, to Scotland. And now Jamison at half back to Russell. Just had a bit too much on the kick, and Collingwood have got the numbers. Thomas and Dinak combine. And again, oh gee, unlucky for Collingwood there, with Jolly slipping over, and we'll get a boundary throw in on centre wing.
What was going on there? There's a throw in. Collo might use that in evidence when he makes his argument, perhaps. Not much going on right at the minute for Carlton anyway. Blues are still hungry to try and get back into it. Simpson scoots away and into a little bit of space. So Johnson provides them some run from behind, but again that doubt about where to go to next. Bauer's been thrust into a forward role, but Nathan Brown, another one of these youngsters from Collingwood, trying to earn his place. He knows what's up for grabs in September, and everyone wants to be in on the action. Pendlebury as steady as ever. Ben Reid will be there. He's had an outstanding year. Look at that for a pinpoint pass. Goldsack no mark, but no problem for the Pies. Extra numbers again as the kick from side bottom takes them to half forward, and Davis takes the grab. Again, 65 from goal. Lee Brown leads to the square. McCaffer goes into the pocket. McCaffer takes the mark, but it's hard to see him kicking a goal from here.
Just while this is all happening down the other end, Carlton have got no one forward of the centre square, centre circle. How do you score when you're 400 miles behind?
Oh, that's modern footy for you, Blighty, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but not when you're behind.
McCaffer, another who has really thrust his name forward. What? Not a great kick on that occasion.
Do you know what I mean? There are times in the game, yes, I understand, you know, you need to hold it up, but when you've actually got a young forward line, and I have to say the Carlton forward line is very young, they're not getting a lot of opportunity to play one-on-one footy at the moment.
So Karatse cuts across the ground and finds Joseph in the opposite back pocket. Under pressure, he kicks to the wing. Fisher, Maxwell goes back and does very well not to give the free kick away, and great recovery by the captain. Now Thomas, loose players inside the attacking 50. Thomas's kick has found its target in Cloak.
Probably kicked this.
Cloak, short pass, ball to the back. Carlton with an opportunity. They've got the numbers, although Sidebottom ends up with the football. Chance for Blair. Bit too hot for Sidebottom. Carlton should clear here. They've got plenty of numbers inside their defensive 50. Russell kicks it very wide, hoping for the line. Arriving Bauer. Nathan Brown collars him, and he coughs it up to Reid. And again, the numbers in favour of the Magpies as Sidebottom threads it. McCaffer, 60 from goal. Short, Davis. He's marked 47 from goal, right on the edge of his kicking range. He'll swing out to the right and try and bring it back right to left.
Game number 200 for Leon Davis, first Indigenous player to play 200 games at Collingwood. And he's someone who's just starting to hit form at a great time for Collingwood.
Here goes Harry. He wants it.
So Davis will kick from pretty much right on 50 for goal number 3. Hits it pretty well. Has it got the carry? No, fisted through right on the last line of defence by Hampson.
Now let's have a look at the scores from turnovers, where Collingwood have been number 1 at doing this all year. Look at that, 5-9 to 1 point. Could have been a lot worse, couldn't it, with their kicking at goal. And the Pies have dominated in that area all year. Gibbs kicks out.
That's a huge stat. 14 shots to 1.
Mind you, Carlton have only kicked 2-1 for the day,
yeah, sure.
Malcolm. So they were never going to be in any great shape anyway you cut it up. Jamison goes to the wing. That's a beautiful ball for Joseph. Decides to take the initiative and press on. Fisher with the grabber. Didn't look good, but Eddie Betts does his best work on the ground. Unfortunately, not that time. And away go the Pies again into action. Swan uses side bottom as a bit of a step up. Reed over the top, might get it back here. Pendlebury escapes just in the nick of time. By hand, they take it all the way to the wing using Beams, and now Thomas to half forward Dawes. Knows where the footy's going, gets to it, over the top. Great team, great cohesion by the Pies. Delicate kick from McCaffrey, and Davis will do the rest.
Strange choice from McCaffrey. It's probably the easier shot for goal than to pinpoint it to Davis.
I think they've tried to find Leon a few times today, which is good. I mean, he's been in the right spot, so that's fair enough.
Well, in game number 200, big occasion, and they lead by 60. Davis for his third. It's all about Leon today. Are we seeing anything different, boys? We can discuss in a moment, I guess. Are we seeing anything different from Carlton? Is anything noticeably different from the Blues, either in structure or intent in this third quarter?
At the centre bounce there is, and then it falls apart dramatically.
Real concerns for Brett Ratton as we look at the live ladder, and the Blues percentage has dropped from 105.9 to 101.6, which might be critical come season's end.
Well, it might be when you look at the teams that are in and around it, and particularly the teams underneath them, yes.
So a chance for Murphy. Grigg kicks under pressure, but gets some good purchase on the footy towards full. Oh, great mark taken by Fisher. Third man up. And Brad Fisher, returning this afternoon after knee surgery, has taken an absolute beauty. 45 metres from goal, and not much of an angle to speak of. So
kicked 37 goals, Brad Fisher, back in 2007, Chris. So capable of scoring. Been a quiet day for him, but that's got to help his confidence.
Haven't kicked a goal since the 7-minute mark of the first quarter, Carlton, from 45. It's been a long time coming. Carlton have their third. So the quick reply, and Brent Fisher, his first goal of the afternoon.
Carlton's first since the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. Carlton's hadn't scored since then, and took something extraordinary. That was a massive grab from Brad Fisher, and the last surgery, as Chris O mentioned, come back quicker obviously than the traditional hamstring tendon. So when you want to be able to fly and leap and land well, that helps your confidence.
Well, it's a great inspiration, I guess. We see Nick Maxwell and Dale Thomas on the bench getting a bit of work, but Brad Fisher being able to kick that goal and make the comeback today is an inspiration, and maybe others will go down that Lars path in the future. Clean takeaway from Didak and Swan and Johnson, and Reed, who continues to impress with his quick kicking through the air to half forward. It's a bit wide, and it's over and out. I was at a function a number of years ago, and Mick Malthouse said Ben Reed will play 200 games for Collingwood, and he hasn't played many in the first couple of years, but boy, he's had a breakout season this year.
Another great story for Collingwood, isn't it? Just into his 23rd game, Hutto, and really looks as though he will do what the Collingwood brains trust thought he would do, and that's hold down centre half back for the next decade.
Blues have got something happening for them here. Henderson with a big deep kick. Fisher might have to go again here. Stands his ground well, and then just couldn't complete the job. And now the Collingwood defence will swing into action. Side bottom helping out O'Brien, exploring the southern side of the ground. McCaffrey over the top to Didak. Next link in the chain. Bounce accommodates eventually. Cloak doubles back to provide an option. Ball the shorter one. Just hesitated a little bit there, Didak. Almost gave away the free. The Blues maybe just showing a little bit in the last few minutes. Simpson starting to get the footy. Gives it up there. Back in dispute on the wing and back over the line.
Well done there by Warner. Look at this smother. Just stuck the right mid out. It was well played.
I reckon he's been all right.
Yeah, he's shown a bit today.
Showing some really good signs, isn't he? Love the way he's able to compete. Jolly's so good, but Warnock's been more than adequate at that part of the game, the stoppage situation.
Chance for Carrazzo, just forward of the wing, drives it deep inside attacking 50. Chance at the back for Reid. Support provided by O'Brien, who shrugs Yaron aside. Short kick and Swan marks. O'Brien kept going. So from half back, Harry kicks high towards half forward. Cloak in the pack. Gibbs did well. Third man up to destroy it. Joseph back to Gibbs. Judd. Gibbs kept going. Handball from Judd wasn't great, but he gets it back. Tries to break the ball tackle. Got it to Simpson. Great chase down from Davis. Turnover and Collingwood away. Pendlebury got an option out wide. He uses it. It's Luke Ball. Ball kicks long to a one-on-one inside the attacking 50. Jamieson and Cloak coming to assist his weight. Oh, Cloak's got him. Clever little kick though to Joseph. And Joseph kicks wide in the direction of Garlett, who just came on the bench. Oh, he controls it okay. Loops the handball inside the corridor to Murphy. From centre wing, he drives it long towards half forward. Henderson in a good spot, and he marks 40 from goal.
You must be happier, Malcolm, the last few minutes, because they've actually kept their structure.
Yeah, what they've done is actually the game's open up a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of easy kicks out there for players now, and Collingwood know they've got the game won as we watch Leon's chase. And it's just, yeah, the game's open up. And this suits Carlton, actually.
So Lockie Henderson will kick from 45 metres. Kicked the goal last week, 15 for the year. Looks great off the boot. He's got the carry. Ball on the goal line taken by Thomas. Under pressure, he kicks very wide, looking and hoping for the line, and it doesn't go. It doesn't accommodate him. Russell kicks it back, and the mark's taken by Carrazzo.
Crowd that side of the MCG not happy with the boundary umpire. Collingwood fans, they're up by 60 points. They want more.
Now, called to play on Carrazzo from standing start. Kicks from 50. Misses to the left.
Have a look at this. Look at the boundary umpire.
That is one of the worst. He was in perfect position.
The crowd went berserk. They saw it bounce clearly out. Unbelievably bad decision. How can you not see that? He was 5 metres away.
Oh dear. Johnson gives it to Swan. And to half forward. Look at Luke Ball. He could see where it was heading. He just couldn't quite get there. Davis had an influence. Big influence to turn out. Dawes riding the tackle. Ball saw off Murphy and wasn't able to then distribute the ball away would have liked. Jamieson takes him up. He's got Henderson on his own on the wing. He took him way too long to get the ball moving. Now Russell can look easy from here, I know. Warnock back into the middle to Scotland. Nice little brush off, and then the high ball into the forward line. Ben Reid will go there and he'll take the mark unperturbed and try and get the Pies moving again.
Just grows each week, Ben Reid, doesn't he? That might have looked like it took courage, but he really had to stand on the one. Didn't know what was coming. Really improved his kicking ability as well, Ben Reid.
Davis and Joseph have got the umpire next to them. A bit of push and shove.
Okay, they're just inside the attacking 50. McCaffrey's on the wing. Squares it up to Ball. Coming in for his 22nd disposal. Was a beauty too. Straight onto the chest of Dawes.
Now, Luke, you're on lots of committees. Would that boundary umpire have a rest for that little error?
I reckon he's an import from South Africa. I reckon he might have been the ref in that England game in the World Cup.
Gee, what's quite incredible.
You give everyone a go, don't you, Malcolm? You just say to him, look, mistake. Don't let it happen again, or pack your bags and don't come ever again.
Either that or you get sacked for life.
Yaron takes on McCaffrey. Now takes on Dawes. Couldn't get around the big fella. Put Simpson under the pump. Now Collingwood got the numbers here against Betts. Well done, Nathan Brown. Clears the path for himself. Then shares it with Blair. McCaffrey. Maxwell operating tight on the boundary line. His kick to half forward. And a boundary thrown. So let's have a look at this. This ball. Now there's the boundary umpire. Now that clearly is out.
He's in a good spot. He's in a look. You've got to give him 9 out of 10 for the spot. Is it 1 out of 10 for the decision?
10 out of 10 for the spot.
0 out of 10 for the decision, Malcolm.
So what's he averaging? 5.
That's one way of looking at it.
Well. Bit of history between Joseph and Leon Davis. Joseph kept him scoreless in round 6. Leon has got the win today with 3 goals in his 200th game.
Hampson do the wrestling work, beams the high ball into the 50. Oh, good courage shown by Gibbs. Earned himself the free. And then he's not so sure what to do with it.
Tended to persevere with Gibbs on the half-back, haven't they, rather than put him back in the midfield?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a reason exactly why.
Johnson. Tough chance for Betts. Judd, who had a fair bit in the first quarter, but
hasn't had any of it at all since then. That was only possession number 12. He had 9 in the first quarter.
Here's Gibbs again as they sneak towards half forward, and Fisher gives them a bit of an avenue.
Yeah, the game has opened up, hasn't it? It's actually a prettier game now, isn't it? Free flowing. Probably Mick Malthouse is not all that pleased about this, but I'm sure Brett Ratton would.
High ball from Fisher to the square. Oh, Thomas!
Oh, don't you just love it?
To Didak. As you said, the edge going off just a little bit.
Let's look through the side for Collingwood, and just everywhere you look, you see positive. This great man here has, I think, been the most improved player in the competition. I reckon he's a 30% better player than he has been in the past. Big statement, but I really believe that's the case. And we're all around the side. You look at Ben Reed's now as such an important player. Jolly's added a heap to their side. Luke Bull's added an enormous amount. Chris Dawes has got their structure going beautifully. Beams has improved. Sidebottom's improved. Their captain just does the job, even though he's missed 4 or 5 weeks. Everywhere you look, it's just excitement for Collingwood. And they've got 4 or 5 players who would be walk-up starts on any other side, just sitting down the VFL, knocking the door down, desperate to get back in.
Brown at half-back, high to the wing. Cloak at the back with the leap and the mark. Found a lot of it today, Travis Cloak. Long, 65 metres to McCaffer. Great strength shown there. Cross the ground, and Lee Brown waits with great anticipation and accepts the mark. Will kick from 30 metres directly in front.
That's who I didn't speak about, but you can speak about everyone. McCaffer is just that great mid-size who's awkward to match up on and can do that. He's kicking for goal, something that needs to improve. And Lee Brown, I love the way he slots into this side body. He's gone past Josh Fraser. He's doing this really well and competes well in the ruck.
Played really well last week. McCaffer's kicked 6 in the last 2 weeks, but he's given off the last 2 goals.
And Mick Malthouse, just some instructions on the boundary line to his midfield and ruckman as Lee Brown comes in and misses.
It was a good mark from McCaffer, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
Exceptional.
Chriso, is Josh Fraser going to get back in to the Collingwood side?
I would be surprised if he didn't get an opportunity between now and the end of the season.
Whose spot is he going to take between now and then?
Couldn't answer that. I'd be surprised.
I mean, bring him in. You've got to take someone out.
Okay, but it may be. I mean, Darren Jolly's had a long year.
Yep.
Maybe there's an opportunity if he pulls up after a game a little sore. Maybe they leave him out for a week. Let him regroup.
Mick, with some hesitation, has said publicly that Josh will get his 200th game. Goldsack's turn to lead. Some good aerial work by the Pies.
He did one earlier too over the big fella Warnock. I mean, that's fantastic confidence. That's fantastic confidence for a kid that's just trying to make his mark in the game. He's got a coach on his side at the moment, I'd suggest.
They're going the long way about it here. Lee Brown gets mown down. Kicks it over to Nathan. And he stumbles and bumbles his way over the line, which was always his intent. Mick Malthouse shakes the head.
Gee, they're 2 good jumps, aren't they? Thomas. Now Goldsack.
24 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Oh, wasn't a very strong boundary throw in. Chance for Walker. Side bottom. Coming to meet it. Judd the other way. Collared by Pendlebury. Grigg. Collingwood outnumbering Simpson 3-on-1, but somehow he found a way through. Off to Judd. 55 from goal. Oh, gee. To Chris Johnson, who fumbled it. And a boundary thrown. That about sums up the day for the Blues.
We always ask so much of Chris Judd, don't we, in a game of football every week. They say, oh, Chris Judd's the one who's going to stand up. He did it again last week. They're down by 26 points. But it was a different world for Chris Judd a few years ago, wasn't it? Running around for West Coast. You had Ben Cousins floating around alongside him. Daniel Kerr, one of the elite midfielders in the competition. Carlton's side let this man down week in, week out because they just ask him to do the impossible, and that's carried the rest of the team. You can't do it, and I reckon it's sapping the life out of Chris Judd. They need some teammates to stand up here. Carlton, they've been smashed.
Collingwood by 60 at 3/4 time.
There's talk that he's strained a medial ligament. He didn't come on in the third quarter, so that is one to watch for the Pies.
Thanks, Howie. Last quarter from the MCG. Still plenty of pride on the line here for the Blues.
Beautiful tap from Warnock to Betts. Couldn't find the handle. Judd can, although he missed the target. Chance at half back. McCaffer. Thomas. Short little kick to Didak. Not 15. Called to play on. Goes on his non-dominant side. Kicks to the hot spot. 15 metres from goal. Davis in front. Ball to the back. Chance for Dawes. Got boot to ball. Couldn't find the big opening though. So the opening score of the final quarter to Collingwood are behind. The margin 61 points.
Bloody question for you. Collingwood, I've really admired the way that Malthouse has selected sides upon what he needs from a week in, week out point of view, and left out players that have shown him in the past that they can deliver. As you head into the finals, do you try and settle it down and just get your best 22 week in, week out from now?
I don't think he will. I think he'll keep on doing that. I think he'll pick a team to beat the other team.
It's really fascinating, isn't it? As Yaron's kick doesn't quite get Henderson. Pendlebury's got them moving. Brown, as they start to pump from half back. Tuvey and Jolly and Brown again, and Pendlebury is up to 28 disposals. Gone past Swan. And the mark taken by Steele's side bottom.
I mean, you always try and pick your blokes in form, and you know there's always someone out of form. So whether you want to carry him because of the structure of the team, I don't think that Mick Malthouse has changed that. He used to do it without people knowing it. Now it's much more out there into the public arena to say, we're playing this team, I think this guy. So, and
normally you've got an injury or two as well, which makes it forced upon you to make change. They haven't, and as we said before, the quality of players out of the side is making it pretty obvious at the moment.
Murphy takes them inside 50, the Blues. Opportunity for Henderson. Well played again by Reid to just take it towards the line. It's interesting though. I guess you're sort of not open out for criticism, but you've got to get it right if you're going to chop and change each week, don't you? And it makes selection so important in a big final if you're willing to change, make even up to 2 or 3 changes within a September campaign.
Tap from Jolly, brilliantly sharked by Betts. Snap it, goal is home. Well played, Eddie Betts. First goal of the final quarter to the Blues. And he was able to seize on this loose ball, wanted it, and a lovely finish.
That's a really good setup from a stoppage inside forward 50. Create some space, flick it out the black, get your small forwards to run onto it, and they're capable of scoring. It's simple. They haven't had the opportunity to do it too often though.
Tough day for Brett Ratton. Quiet day too for Eddie Betts. 7 disposals, 1 goal. They throw the first salvo the last quarter. The margin now 55 points. 11-15 place 4-2. Yes, into the last quarter. 4 goals, 2 only on the board. Didak and Swan, side bottom, and Maxwell. Bit of a chop and change of the mind there, but it's all okay. Side bottom to centre half forward. How easy was that? Travis Cloak just able to shake himself free. Just get away from Bauer and takes the mark, and he might go better from this distance.
He's an absolute beauty still side bottom. He's pick 11 in 2008 and has been averaging over 17 disposals since he stepped into the AFL arena. But I love his ability in traffic. I love his poise. He's a good kid. They're young players. You're throwing beams, and Wellingham, all these guys in the midfield are just doing the job.
So can he do the job this time? Travis Cloak, 5 behinds to his name. Finally it's a goal.
He's kicked that easy from outside 50. All the rest have been in close. Too close. He's got to line up. So 15 stories back into the stands. He's got to pick someone out up there, not the goal umpire. Oh, look, he kicks it long and hard and strong. Amazing.
It's like a different kicking motion when he's there. He just relaxes and says, well, I don't really expect to kick it. Kicks through it.
Yeah, he's had a really good game. One of the strengths, if we watch him in kicking here.
So, do you notice any technical difference, Malcolm, when he kicks from outside 50 than when he kicks from 20 metres?
Yes. But it's at Payton, and it'll cost you.
Okay, back in the centre. We'll get that in just a moment. Didak's handball. Coming up the metre was Beams. Well done, Judd, though. Didak pushed Russell off the ball. Handball to side bottom. Now Beams is loose inside the attacking 50 and he kicks in his direction. Chance for Dawes. Well done, Jamison. Applying some pressure. Jolly's there as well. Now Scotland can relieve for the Blues to Judd. From half back. Kick is a beauty. Mark taken by Waite. Now Yaron. Saw him do this in the first quarter, but haven't seen a lot of it. From half forward, chips it. Oh, Anderson dropped a mark he should have taken. Dubious looking handball. In fact, it's been called by the umpire and 50 metres. So free kick to Reid. And the umpire right on the spot there.
Now, Michael.
Yes, Malcolm.
One of the most illustrious defenders in Collingwood's recent history, being a premiership player. O'Brien, Tuvey, Reid, Maxwell and Shaw when he's there. That is the quickest back line in the league. Do you realise that? That's their strength. They have got enormous recovering ability.
Well, they get it to Cloak, and this will test him from 35 metres on a slight angle.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I think their back line is the quickest in the comp.
Because it helps when you have Travis Cloak playing the way he is tonight. Imagine if he could just get this right.
Okay, talk us through this, Malcolm.
Well, yeah, he's gone back
what
far enough.
What does he need to do to kick the goal in terms of technique?
Just his hands on the ball are slightly off. So every now and again he mid-hits it. And every now and again he gets it good. A long one. Yes.
Margin 67 points. Cloak has kicked 2 in a minute after kicking 5 behinds previous to that.
I look at him when he's 20, 30 metres out having a shot, and his whole body language looks tighter. His shoulders are more rounded, and he can almost feel the head's ticking over going, oh, if I miss this, this isn't good. Put him back from further range, and he just seems to relax with the ball in his hand, caress it and kicks through it, and it goes straighter.
So Travis Cloak kicks his second goal. 2 goals, 5 for the afternoon. You talked about the Collingwood defence. Here's the scores they've conceded over the last 5 weeks. Round 14, 52. Round 15, 79 points. Round 16, 52. Round 17, 45. Today so far, 26. So they have been miserly. As Swan takes him forward to Cloak. He is red hot at the moment, Travis. He got the itch to just play on, and now he's regretting it.
Good tackle. Great tackle from Betts.
And now they can take it away. Yaron with that lovely smooth gait and kick to half forward. Henderson got a few Bronxies from the crowd there. He's a bit bemused as to where to go next.
Sure.
Won't be feeling any better about it now.
Down in the goal square, right in the corridor, Robbie Warnock had pushed down into a really good position. Just look at Cloak's contested mark. It's been very good at that contested marks right across the year. 3rd in the AFL for that. Down the other end, though, Warnock's there at a one-on-one in the goal square. Why not kick it to that spot?
Pendlebury from half back towards Cloak again. Waite's got the job now. McCaffer keeps his body in line to Cloak, who scrambles it 30 metres towards half forward. Dawes got Jamison to contend with, and the handball wasn't great. So a chance for the Blues here. Gibbs to Carazzo. Handball to the feet of Joseph. He was good enough to get it back, though. And a clever kick to the back pocket. Mark taken by Greig. Russell.
Yeah, I know that, you know, there's lots of things that make up a team of footy, you know, the midfield and the forward line, but I just having watched them now a month in a row, their back line is as quick as anybody you've ever seen in the game, really.
So Scotland,
as the game quickens up.
Wide to Simpson now. Into the path of Big Hampson. Well tackled by Maxwell, and as a consequence he coughs it up. Goldsack to Lee Brown to Tuvey to Maxwell. Here they go again, Malcolm.
Yeah.
From half back, kick is a good one. Dawes couldn't quite hold on that time. Good pressure from Gibbs, although Goldsack in support. Spreads it wide to McCaffer. Can he find a target as he kicks to half forward? He can. Didak. Too far out to score, Alan Didak. He's got a loose play at Beams just inside the attacking 50, but he kicks for goal and absolutely nails it. From outside 50, in fact, more like 60, 65 metres. Kingston Town can't win. Didn't think he had any chance whatsoever from there.
Jim Mick was excited. Bring back that score.
Well, we've seen a couple of these last week. Goldsack kicked that one down the middle, remember? Have a look, nothing on. Late in the game, practice your skills. It's gone about 69, 70 metres, which is lovely.
It comes off the ground too. Just a bit of a half lap of honour there from Alan Dyer.
No shimmy. No shimmy.
No shimmy, yeah.
Come on, give us a shimmy.
You had a rule as a coach, Blood, didn't you? Always allowed to have a crack at a top.
Oh, yeah.
No issue with it. I'd love to see it more. The players are actually more capable of doing that than people understand. Bring it back.
That's because Blighty used to do them at training. In fact, half of the first half of training that Blighty took was just having bombs from the middle of the ground, wasn't it, Malcolm?
Yes.
Scotland to Carazzo. Now the crowd have seen something pretty outstanding today, and none better than that big talk. Murphy with the bomb. Betts is better when it hits the turf. It goes over the line and out of bounds. You could watch this all day, couldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you practice them? Say that's the goal. 1 second to go in the grand final.
That kick has gone 70 metres.
Yeah.
The other thing, if they do not come off, as a defender, floating mungs that just drift inside 50 are a nightmare for defenders. It can sometimes be better than hitting it perfectly.
LR was given a bit of latitude. As a result, Simpson kicks the goal. And gets one back for the Blues. Their 5th of the afternoon, and the margin is 67 points.
Now, earlier in the year, we had Bradshaw kick a long talk. Remember that? And everyone was claiming it might have been as long as one from some years ago.
Who would have kicked that, Blighty?
No, we'll just get back to that in just a second.
There is Sharad Wellingham on the bench. Hasn't taken part in any of the second half of this game. This is an incident late in the first quarter. Seemed to have tweaked a knee. There's even some talk he might have done some damage to the medial ligament of his left knee. Came off the ground. Did go back on in the second quarter. Was getting plenty of the footy, but hasn't been seen in the second half. And Chris Judd is off the ground and down in the room. Seems to have a problem with his shoulder at the moment. So not good news for Carlton fans there.
All right, thanks, Howie. Meantime, free kick to Luke Ball in the centre of the ground. Wide. And good mark taken there by Grigg at half back for the Blues. Good run by Simpson. He accepts the ball on centre wing with some space. He can put an option inside. Not 15. Allard. Oh, great pressure from Blair. Oh, gee, sensational tackle from Ball. But Carazzo is able to get the handball to Murphy. Can he find a target inside attacking 50? Well done, Brown. Warnock does well. Looking for an option. Grigg from 45. One step. And at the back, a chance for Garlett. Swan got a touch on it. And goes through for a behind to the Blues.
Not easy to find positives this afternoon for Carlton. Robbie Warnock, for me, is one. I think he's shown some really good signs. Again, picked up the footy at ground level nicely, dished off a handball.
Johnson to Swan. Almost. Mark taken by Johnson, not paid. Ellard tries to break a tackle and does. Scrambles a kick inside attacking 50. Swan comes to meet it. Chance for Ball. Look at that head over the footy. And earns the free kick.
Right on it, thanks.
Swan. He goes right up the middle of the ground. Ball finds itself back at half forward for the Blues. Grigg, Warnock, trying to take on the tackler. Did get the handball though to Garlett. Simpson, 55 from goal. Oh, gee, ordinary looking kick. Intercepted by Tuvey. Now Ball. And he tried to pinpoint it and was successful to Beams. Swan. Carazzo approaches and got a hand in there, so well played Carazzo. Beams goes back for a second effort. Umpire letting it go. Ball spills out. Ellard does well. From just backward of the wing. Hoists it high towards Hampson and Tuvey. Tuvey a little more agile at ground level, but a boundary throw in half forward for the Blues. Let's get to Mark Howard.
Talked about Chris Judd and a shoulder concern. He's just come back out of the rooms. You can see he's done for the day. This is about 5 minutes ago on a centre bounce. There was some contact and Judd straight away complained maybe he's tweaked a shoulder muscle or a chest muscle, but he's been down the rooms. He is finished for the day, Chris Judd.
We know his history with shoulders, had them reconstructed as a kid. It was one of the reasons why he probably slipped through to pick 3 rather than pick 1. Got them heavily strapped. You can see he's just having a chat there with the fitness staff, the medical staff, indicating that there was a little bit of a tweak. No one touched him, but he's done some damage.
Betts made a run at it. Johnson, high tackle, the umpire adjudicates.
opportunity, he made an attempt. Okay? No, it's no prior. 2.5 steps, not prior.
Not quite.
Thanks, Chris.
Don't know what he's arguing about. It was certainly high, wasn't it?
It certainly looked high. So here's Johnson's kick for goal, looking for Carlton's 6th of the afternoon. Good contact, very good contact, and it sneaks through. 60 the diff.
Well, 60 the diff was the score at three-quarter time, so I guess both teams really have marched time in this last quarter thus far, and we see that tackle just go high, and I think Nick Maxwell is a bit off-putting to be arguing with an umpire there, I thought.
So the margin back to 60. Chris Judd done for the day. Now this may have been a contributing factor. Hard hit there with Dane Beam. So, and this was just a few minutes. You just see no contact there with that incident. Raised the right arm and some pain. So I think that might have been where it happened to the Carlton captain.
Don't want to jump ahead too far, but they play Essendon next week. You'd want Judd available, wouldn't you?
Ellard, good strong mark taken there by Fisher. Too far out to score, 55 from goal.
Well, their finals position is vulnerable at the moment.
Hoisted high to the goal square. Wasn't a great kick. Hampson, good mark though. Perhaps the kick would have been better directed to the top of the goal square, but Hampson with an opportunity right on the boundary line, deep in the right forward pocket.
They really are searching, Carlton, aren't they, for just a target.
Yeah.
To be able to do that every now and then, but more importantly, not to be outmarked and just get some front and centre, easy, crumbing goals. They haven't had one of those. When you've got Garlett and Betts and Yaron running around, they can get your lead-up ball, but you want them to get front and centre, and haven't seen that at all today.
So it looks like he's shaping for a conventional drop punt. No, it switches, and that's probably was part of the problem. In fact, he kicks it back 30 metres. Boundary throw-in.
Must be a ruckman, is he?
I don't know your limitations sometimes.
He didn't hold the ball up right enough. He held the ball too flat, and most blokes do when they do a check side, but that'll cost you for a lesson too, Chris.
Jolly, nice tap to ball. Wide to Thomas. Been very good again today, Dale Thomas. That wasn't great though. Coughed it up. Ball now a chance for Tuvey. Jolly. Grigg. Well tackled by O'Brien. Oh, look at desperate stuff at ground level by Ball. Now Simpson from 50 scrambles a kick forward. Chance for Murphy and or Chris Johnson. Little fumble though, and Davis and Pendlebury, and in turn Sidebottom combined to Thomas to get Collingwood out of trouble, and a good kick. Mark taken by Swan just backward of the wing.
Just presses pause for the moment. Margin at 60.
He's written an article a week or so ago, Blighty, that maybe one of the issues Collingwood are going to have is they haven't got a genuine superstar in their side. I reckon they have. Do you think they've got a superstar or a couple of superstars?
I do.
Who are they?
I think that Dane Swan is an A+ grader, and I think Alan Didak is too. They can electrify the team and excite the team. Just to name two, I think they're in the top shelf of anybody. I don't think that Scott Pendlebury's far behind him either, by the way.
Yep.
That was the attempt. Check side from Sean Hampson.
Dale Thomas is in that category after his year this year as well.
Absolutely agree with you. I think Swan's their out and out star who hasn't been able to be stopped at all. He is an absolute A grader in the game now, Alan Didak.
And I reckon you also need a champ at the back, and I think Presty can do that on anyone, but I think Harry O'Brien is a legitimate, really A grade player at the back.
All right, Grigg takes the motion Carlton's direction. Good ball for Walker, who was able to be the last man standing and can dribble it through for a goal. And the margin back to 54.
Did say halfway through that third quarter, this style of play now will suit Carlton. This is what the way I want to play it. A bit more open, bit less pressure, bit more structure. Always thought this might happen. That they'll have their little time. Mick's not all that happy though.
4-3 in favour of the Blues in this final quarter. As we look at Collingwood's matches to come, the big one, of course, Malcolm, next week against the Cats. Another big one against the Bombers at the MCG, the Crows, and then the final game of the home and away against the Hawks, all at the MCG.
They're going to be in red hot form if they can win all those four, aren't they?
Ellard, wide, little bump off the ball by Reid, and illegal, says the umpire, so a free kick to Hampson.
Dane Beams is down behind play, just grabbing his shoulder. He's up and not looking too bad now. We just got the little one in the ribs, actually. Henderson.
So Sean Hampson looking to improve on his effort just a few moments ago. More of a conventional shot. And will kick from 45. There's a good look at what confronts him. Nice kick. Oh, dead centre. Carlton have kicked the last 4 goals in the game and reduced the margin back to 48 points. It got out earlier in the quarter to 73.
Very little consolation for Brett Ratton, but they've at least been able to string a few goals together, and the margin is back to 48 points. Collingwood, one way or another, probably preserving themselves a little for next week. Jolly the tap, ball, Scotland, Davis, he wants a bit more, not a great kick. Johnson to half forward. Betts and O'Brien face off, and Tuvey over the top. Yaron tried to demand the ball, went his way, didn't obey, give away the free. And it's a Collingwood ball at centre half back to Ben Johnson, who's got Didak and Swan. He kicks somewhere in between the two. Well done, Ellard, trying to keep them honest out there. Thump away goes to Maxwell, and now to Didak. Ducks in and out of trouble, gets it to Goldsack, keeps on moving. Swan with a blind turn. Back out to the wing to Maxwell. Helps it on its way. Didak to Johnson. He does that so well. And so they do this so well. Pendlebury back to Didak. Was involved in the start. Will like to be there at the end. Dawes, good heavy body work. Just got to find a way to get it under his boot. He couldn't. And Waite with the stretching handball to Simpson. And the Blues through Carazzo. And now back to Simpson again. Might just be able to get it away.
Over the top to Grigg. Cuts in board. Gibbs. Back to Simpson. Under pressure. Kick towards the wing. Mark taken by Betts. This is what we expected Carlton to play like in the first quarter. Off to Scotland. Plenty of running their legs. Kick inside attacking 50. Oh, I thought interference to Goldsack. No free kick. Yaron, a little handball. Off to Walker. Can run in and kick another one here, and he does. 5 in a row for the Blues. Quick glance to the score from Mick Malthouse and a shake of the head. Margin back to 42 points. Well, Collingwood led by 73 in the early part of this quarter.
There's no doubt the intensity's gone out, and this is, you know, just goes to show you when you just drop off a fraction as an individual or as a team, what can happen. And Brett Ratton will be thinking, where's this been?
5 goals in a row. Some consolation, not much. Just wanted to speak about Alan Didak. 27 possessions, a couple of goals today. One of the great stories in footy. It's only 2 years ago that he was banned for the rest of the year. Was at the crossroads probably in his life and certainly his football world. Now we're talking about him as a superstar in the competition. He's just signed a 3-year deal with Collingwood to see out his career at the one club. What a brilliant story that is.
Allard's been trying hard. Simpson's been probably their best player for the day. Gets it quite deep. Goldsack, not quite. Walker, Betts. They've got energy that there was just nowhere to be seen earlier. Warnock, Yaron. And he's got too much holding the ball.
Time back on. Clear away, clear away, clear away. Let go, lead.
And the Pies, I think, intent on hanging on to the footy for a moment, just getting the feel of it again. Didak to O'Brien.
Stay there, play on.
Back to Reid. Into the last 5 minutes. And Ben Reid. Trying to get it back to Didak. Couldn't achieve that, and it's over and out.
Lee Brown not letting go and copping a few. Not really worried about it. Still going.
What are they playing? Paper, scissors, rock.
Gibbs. Carazzo chips it to half forward. And a mark taken there by Simpson right on the boundary line. He cuts inboard with no pressure. Long towards the top of the goal square. Got the numbers here, the Blues. Spills low to Thomas, who just escapes the Betts tackle. Around the body. Cloak needs to be clean here. Well done, Chris Johnson. Support with Bauer. Back to Chris Johnson. And he just gets the kick away in time, but carries over the head of Betts. So a free kick in the back pocket.
Do you take anything out of this, Malcolm, if you're Carlton?
No. No, look, I mean, they've been shellacked. OK, they've kicked some goals in the last quarter. Shows they've got a bit of ticker and a bit of heart. But, I mean, they're in 8th spot. You'd expect something. But I just think they've just, I won't say undermanned, but just not quite the quality all through the list at the moment.
Boundary throw on the attacking side of the wing for the Blues. Lee Brown competes hard. Hampson does well. Allard ducks the head, gets the handball to Scotland. Now Gibbs, centre half forward, can set something up here. Gibbs decides to kick long towards the goal square. Fisher going back, got hands to it. Couldn't take the mark. Boundary throw in.
Look at all the good sides in recent times. So you think about Geelong and Collingwood as they're going around at the moment. You look at their team, and I think every player on the field knows exactly what his role is. They know what's required of them, and they are all delivering it at the right time.
Garlett comes away. Back to Simpson. Straight away Beams was there to shut him down, and Didak is still kept getting lots of the foot in this last quarter. Heaves it up to the wing. Now they're moving the Pies. Dawes has indulged in a bounce and then kicks high into the space. It's just going to drop a little bit short for Jolly, and Jamison takes the footy.
Again, the idea was right. He just didn't make the right purchase. If he had got an extra 10 metres, Jolly would have marked it because he was out the back and away. Look at Lee Brown as a player as well, who's just, he knows what's required of him to get a game. Nothing more or less. He's got to be the antagonist. He's got to just make sure that he competes hard as anyone on the ground, and he's doing it beautifully.
Simpson coughs it up straight to Maxwell, who plays metres in front of his opponent and reads the game so well. Didak now just decides to settle. 42 points the advantage. Got out to 73 at the beginning of this quarter. Carlton have fought on well.
How many are there? 42. What do we all predict the result would be?
Let me guess, you said 42, maybe. Or was it 43?
43, I think.
43. Well, you're off the mark.
Yeah. Another point would be required. That'll be lovely. Thank you.
Davis on centre wing. Sets it up. Close to the line, Dawes the target. Jamison the fist, boundary throwing.
See Collingwood hugging the boundary line, and I think back in the last couple of years there was some criticism of Mick Moldhouse's style, saying, you know, you've got to actually adjust. Can't keep going along the boundary line. Look at Geelong play. They always go through the corridor. You've got to change. And he said, I'm not going to go with the fashion of everyone else. This is my style. I'm going to stick to it. They kept doing it, and they played the boundary, but I think he's just added that extra bit of flair and the ability just to take risks and play on, even though they're stuck to his game plan, and that is a credit to him in this side. They have got their own style, and at the moment it's better than anyone else's.
Johnson to Jolly, couldn't hold on. Tracking to the line, keeps it in, well played. Now Beams from 50, jams it on the boot. Oh, looks pretty good. He's kicked a beauty. Great goal from Dane Beams. And he's been a strong contributor again today. 28 disposals, goal number 3. Laid 5 tackles. Good work.
He's a
from Darren Jolly.
He's a cracker, Dane Beams. Yeah. He's just
sneaks under the guard of everyone.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a young, you know, he's the baby of the team. So the other bloke's shoulder, and he just cruises around and does his bit.
You would have liked him on the Gold Coast, Malcolm. Dane Beams decided to not wait. And,
no, he did. Yeah, good on him too. I just, when you say go wide, I mean, it is part of their plan, the Collingwood team, and that's what they do. Is we watch them again go forward. But in big games, St Kilda got a meal in the end. They've got forced wide the whole time, kicked a lot of points. You're going to kick points doing it that way, and if you're going to get a team that's roughly of same ability, that's my argument with it. If you keep going wide, points will come.
So margin is back at 48. Is there one more in it for Collingwood?
Best on ground, Luke?
Just having a think about that now. We just paid some strong compliments to Dane Beams. I really love what he's brought to the game today. It's 3 goals, 28 possessions, right up there for me.
Mark taken by Jamison. Final minutes of this game as he kicks wide towards Warnock, who hasn't certainly been Carlton's worst. That was clever from Gallop, but the boundary umpire is right on the scene on this occasion, and he wants to throw it in.
Started the game having a look at Dane Swan. Carezzo has set himself for the hardest tag that could possibly be applied. Couldn't do it. Swan again has just said, doesn't matter what you try and apply, I'm too good, I'm just going to be able to break away.
I just wonder if you come from the other side of him.
Pick him up on the way through. Yeah.
Just, you know, try and stop him from being too damaging.
So a bounce at half forward for the Magpies. Pendlebury forced to do the ruck work. Straight to Bauer. Brown pulled off his kick. Russell can't find the handle. Warnock can. Simpson, who's been very good in this final quarter. Chris Johnson. Not 15, so he spreads it wide, and the mark's taken by Gibbs, who kicks along the line and finds Henderson.
Warnock's had 16 touches.
He's been a good player.
Yeah.
Off to Yaron, and his kick couldn't quite find the target, although a free kick to Fisher against Nathan Brown. He'll kick from 50. Doesn't look too confident. Great to see Brad Fisher back. Well, that's it. He'll have a shot after the siren to try and narrow this 48-point advantage as it stands at the moment. Chris Judd finishing the game on the bench as Fisher loads up from 50. That's a great kick. It just touched right on the line. And that's it. It's all over. Collingwood by 48 points.
Well, the famous song is echoing around the MCG. Leon Davis, 80.